but the pain still grows. Some strangers to you and me.
Okay, this fantastic video is making rounds on social media right now. These two guys, this is Tim and Fred Williams. They are 21-year-old twins from Gary, Indiana. I always sing the song in my head. And they make a YouTube video. They make YouTube videos of themselves doing what they were doing here, which is reacting to famous songs. This is them, of course, listening to Phil Collins.
Yeah, that song is so good.
Yeah. Did you ever hear that the lore growing up about his friend and then somebody died? And did you hear that?
Yeah, that's not true.
I don't think so.
I don't know. I know the story behind the song. I just love listening to these guys are twins, right? I love listening to them. They like revisit 80s and 90s music, and it gives you a new appreciation for the song itself. Like that one, I know that's a good song, but I hadn't heard it in so long. And I was like, oh, it is good. It really is good.
Chris Crowder did what every guy I grew up with does when the drum solo and that song comes up.
Every person, I would say. Yeah, I know. Yeah, you have to. It's so good.
So good. So when you talk about required listening, because obviously like that's a staple of my growing up, what would you guys pick as your song that you either have to play for your children and they have to love, or that you need for your music repertoire to be complete? What is your required listening?
I'm kind of stuck in the past, which bothers Drew to no end because he loves music so much, but I'm stuck in like old rock. So it's less about a song and more about like the sound. So I'm into like the Van Morrison, Allman Brothers, Grateful Dead. Like I feel like our kids are having a lot of exposure to that. Bruce Springsteen is big. Like they even call him the boss in the house. Like it's
that's
playing
good.
all the time.
Good for you, Linz.
Yeah, well, it's more Drew. Because he will introduce new stuff like Arcade Fire, which I'm not as into, but I'm sort of stuck. But it's the good stuff that I think.
This is good. You're raising cool kids.
I hope
very,
so.
very important. What do you guys listen to, Kels?
Well, for us, like I grew up listening to the Eagles. My dad would like crank the stereo to like 100, and he'd always put on the DVD, and we'd watch it, and we'd have to sit there and be quiet and look at the screen and absorb. And then I had a moment with my kids where I love Adele so much, and I cranked the music, and I sat there and I made Jack listen. He wasn't allowed to talk, and I was so overwhelmed by the music, I started to cry. And so I texted my brother after.
I'm like, sad music.
Oh my gosh! I texted my brother. I'm like, I am turning into dad. That's what, like right now. I am my father.
So funny.
What about you?
Okay, so Daryl is a huge 80s music fan. And so, in fact, if you, like, when we're switching cars and we get into the car and it's on the 80s music, like, oh, Daddy was driving the car.
So that's the required listening.
Anything from the...
I have a tough time with the 80s music.
80s music that I don't like. He loves Depeche Mode. I mean...
Yeah, I know. Well, that's why that satellite radio is great, because there's something for everybody.
Yes, yes, there is.
Absolutely.
It's always on the 80s tunes.
80s tunes, yeah. No.
So good.
Yeah, no, it's not. Thanks for watching. If you like this, be sure to subscribe here.
And you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.